Hello and welcome along to Mondo Chalavet Movies. My name is John and this is
Emily.
And we have just come back from CEX. And you know how you get the stickers on a Blu Ray case? Well, Emily must have the knack because she's took all the stickers off the Blu Ray cases, haven't you, Emily?
Yeah.
Seriously, Emily? So when I was looking through the shelves in CEX to predominantly find the slipcase for Shaun of the Dead, and of course I came up, empty-handed. I was standing there just having a look, and what happened, Emily?
Met a subscriber.
Yeah.
Called Gordon.
Gordon came across and said, "Are you John? Mondo Chalavet Movies?" And I was like, "Yeah, I am actually." And I couldn't believe it because that's the first time ever that I've been recognised when I've been out and about. I always talk to Deborah and say, when I go in, it's just a matter of time, like jokingly, that somebody will come up and say to us, "Hey, are you Mondo Chalavet or John off the telly?" But quite bizarrely, that actually did happen, didn't it?
Yeah.
So was that really cool, Emily? Or
Yeah, you were actually.
do you think so?
Yeah.
Because I thought I was quite nervous actually, because it's a funny thing when you meet somebody face to face and just not expecting it. I always get a bit. Well, I thought I went very red, but I had a really good time chatting with Gordon, and he was talking about things that he'd seen on the channel, and he was talking about maybe himself starting off a channel a bit later on to do with history stuff around the northeast. So that sounded pretty interesting. So I said to Gordon, if you just want to do a channel, you've got to just go ahead and do it, because you never know what you try. So he's talking about doing that sometime in the future. So the first time ever being recognised was in North Shields today. I've got to say I was really blown away by the whole experience. And Gordon was a great guy to talk to, and also we've got a couple of photographs, as you've seen. I've put some on me tab to say that this happened. So wow, it's quite an event actually. So I've been buzzing, haven't I?
Yeah. Extremely.
And Lisa's sitting over there. That's the Deb's sister. This is the Lisa. So I've got a bit of an audience here. Do you want to put your head round? It'll be on live. Well, it won't be live, but you know. But what we'll do is we'll go through the things I got in CEX today, and also I'll talk about what we got in HMV yesterday. And the reason why I was in HMV yesterday was because, Emily,
I'm coming up here to go to uni.
You are? And we went to your uni and had a bit of a mooch around, and we got another tour of what's it called where you go to? The laboratories.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was all right, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And I had a talk with your tutor
Yeah.
for about an hour.
An hour.
About fingerprints and blood spatters and all sorts of things. I think you're going to enjoy it. I would enjoy it if I could do it.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. And then also as well, because you're going to come up here for 3 years, what's going to happen then?
I'm going to live here for 3 years.
And also, who's coming up with you?
My dog, Betty.
That's right, yes. We're going to get Emily and Betty staying in the house. And Matthew is going to have to live in the shed outside.
Yeah.
Isn't that right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what you say. You're adamant that's going to happen. So that should be fun to watch that play out. So yeah, so anyway, so what did I get from CEX first, Emily?
Is that where we went today?
Yeah. It's got a good memory.
Yeah.
So first up, we've got Zombie Hunter, and I've got to admit, I know nothing about it. The only good thing about it is it's got Danny Trejo in, and he's always usually good in a movie. I don't know why he sort of works for me, but he does. He's always coming across in low-budget movies, but I don't mind low-budget movies. They're some of my favourite movies of all time. So on the back of that one, I got Zombie Hunter, and also I got...
This.
What's that called?
Machete Kills.
All right. Machete Kills. Now, the good thing about that is I've got Machete, and I was always wanting to get Machete Kills, but that one there has got a slipcover, but it's got a lenticular slipcover, which looks really nice. So, should have natural. So yeah, so that's what we got from CEX today. They were dead cheap, and it's great to get Machete Kills with a slip as well. I don't think I've got Machete with a slip, but I suppose you can easily put that right if you spot it. So also yesterday when we were in HMV, I got
Galaxy of Terror.
Yeah, that's a very low budget movie, which is kind of when Star Wars got big. They made some movies that were a kind of Star Wars rip-off. And that's kind of more like an Alien rip-off, I would think. The fact is that it seems to be a bit more Alien-esque, and it was out in 1980. So was Alien was out in 1979, so we had all the rip-offs coming away with it. And strangely enough, just before we went to do this video, Emily was going to take off the shrink wrap on Galaxy of Terror. And as you know, I like to keep the shrink wrap on. And did I scream, Emily? I did a bit, didn't I? I went, no! So, I mean, he took these off, these were good. Eh?
How do you watch?
He
Well,
slices it.
I opened it.
I was just going to go like that.
She was just going to go, which eventually it might get that raggy that you've got to take it off. But at the meantime, if I can do this, it kind of ultra protects it, because I'm just a bit like that. Do you think I've been picky over the years? Do you find me sort of one of them people who was very picky? Yes, I think you'll find that's completely correct. Is that right, Lisa?
Most definitely.
Most definitely. So anyway, so yes, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go and, Emily's going to go home with the Lisa, back to the Betty, and see the clan, because they're currently they're lost in the field, aren't they?
In Burnley somewhere.
No, they're all right now.
They're all right now. Did John get the car winched out of the pool?
There's done some off-roading.
Show the picture of the car. This is when you go to somewhere to watch some football or watch Jack play football, and the sat-nav takes you into a field. So this is what happened. This is what the car looked like afterwards. Yeah. So just So will you be watching that when you get home, Emily?
No.
No, I didn't think you would.
It's just going to get stuck on a building site anyway, so...
Yeah. Does you keep it washed anyway? Or
No.
is it just... No, oh, that's fair enough. So it doesn't really make any difference.
No.
So yes, so I'll go now. Emily will go home. I'll go have a look at these videos. I'll show you I'll tell you what I thought of them. And and be prepared to see more of Emily in the future. Because when you come up, we're going to watch some series on Netflix, aren't you?
Mm-hmm.
Because even better, Emily, when you came up, what did you do?
Give you my Netflix password.
Yeah. So I watched Texas Chainsaw Massacre last night, and it's all right. In fact, I quite enjoyed it, but it's a bit. Actually, I was talking to Gordon about it because he had seen it, and he had said it's a bit. And I went, it is, but it's. I thought it was kind of one of the better Texas Chainsaw Massacre, one of the 1,000 Texas Chainsaw Massacres sequels. It was all right. Wasn't too bad, but it was nice to get it for nothing. That's even better, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So yes, so the minute I was on the fence with whether or not Emily could stop here for 3 years, but as soon as you mentioned the Netflix, I said, you're in. Matthew's out. He's in the shed. He's in the hut.
Yeah, because
Forget
he
about
won't give
him.
his password to you.
No,
He
he
said he
wouldn't.
claimed he forgot, but
Yeah, you
definitely
know that he could give me that password if he wanted to.
yeah, he claims he don't know how to change it, but it's
That's
easy.
right. So I think he's ruined his chances of staying in this house when Emily gets here.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be a big fight for his bedroom. So I'll get the popcorn out and I'll enjoy that one. So anyway, so thanks for helping me out on this one, and we're going to do some maybe Netflix series in the future, and we'll do maybe like sort of reviews on episodes of whatever we watch, because you watch all this true crime stuff and you've seen every single one of them, haven't you? 10 times.
Yeah.
So yes, so yep.
Yeah.
So thanks for watching this bit. I'll be back in about 10 seconds. See you later.
Bye.
Okay, so back from checking these out. Actually, this is the next day. So first I checked out Zombie Hunter. Now, it was funny because when I flicked through this movie, I did find out that none of the scenes had Danny Trejo in it. So that made me think that maybe he's sort of not really the star in this movie. It seems to be the other guy is the star of this movie. That doesn't matter really, because as long as he's in it, or as long as this movie is fun to watch, that's all it's really about anyway. And if it isn't, at least I've got myself a spare box. The picture quality on here looked reasonably good. I wasn't expecting anything to look spectacular. It just looks like a low budget movie that was shot and presented on Blu Ray. Nothing outstanding there, but anyway, I didn't expect it to be. So that's Zombie Hunter. Next up, I checked out Machete Kills. Now this movie here, this lenticular case, is absolutely spectacular if I'm honest. And I do have Machete. I don't have it with a slip, but look at that. Rental copy, remember them? This was definitely from Blockbusters. Probably paid a couple of quid for it. It was great when you could get these ones from Blockbusters and not really pay too much for it. I do have a lot of fun with these movies. I do think they're quite enjoyable. Machete, I think, is the better of the two. Although I did find that I did really like Machete Kills when I saw it. It is sort of laughable in places, but I think it's meant to be like that. It's a bit tongue-in-cheek. But I've got to say, I didn't check out Machete when I did this, but when I checked out this Machete Kills, the picture quality on here is absolutely jaw-dropping. It's one of those ones on Blu Ray when you think, wow, is this the sort of detail on skin textures, especially Danny Trejo's skin, is just unreal. So for me, the picture quality in here was quite unexpectedly good. But I'm so glad I picked that up with a lenticular slipcase. I don't know if this one ever came with lenticular slipcase. I know I used to have this on Steelbook, but I got rid of it because I'm not a big fan of Steelbooks, as you know. But this one, I will watch these. I haven't watched this one for a long time, so I will be watching this one before I watch Machete Kills. But I'm really pleased to pick this up, and just wasn't expecting to see it out in the wild. So that's Machete Kills, or as they call them in the movie, Machete Kills. So finally I checked out Galaxy of Terror. I've always loved this picture. So I've been after this movie for the longest time. Actually, I looked on my Amazon wish list, and there was a movie that I had on there at the same time. I haven't got this one on anymore because obviously this one came out and I probably deleted it. But the movie that I looked at was Forbidden World around about the same time. And that was from 2014. I've had that on my wish list. So I would imagine I've been wanting this at least from 2014 on Blu Ray from the States. One of the Roger Corman classics that seem to be getting quite out of print these days. So anyway, Galaxy of Terror does have an reversible art, which is great, as all of these movies do. Now what I noticed on this was, in the box, you do get that sort of thing that's in these movies here. You know, the Night of the Demon has it. So we've got it in here as well. This one in here says, if I can read it, your countdown to hell is about to begin. I like that actually. So I'm thinking maybe that this is a range that they're going to do on this particular version. Now I've noticed that this is obviously an MG&M title, so it doesn't have this 88s up there, which is a bit of a shame. If it could put 88 up there and MGM down there, it would have been better, but that's nitpicking. So one of the previous times when I was in HMV, I did walk past this title because the spine there, it's not easy to make out what this actual movie is. And I know it was where it's supposed to be, but I just walked straight by it. So anyway, so this here has this really nice special edition version that these other two movies, Delirium and Night of the Demon, do have. So I'm really interested to see if this line kind of continues. So in here you get a poster. It's a lovely poster in here, and these are the ones that's on heavy card as well. It's a nice size. So that's I would say that's the sort of the art that everybody remembers from Galaxy of Terror, which does say your countdown to hell is about to begin. I think that's a great poster. Actually, that's the type of posters I would like to have on my walls, although Deborah wouldn't. This is this other art which I would imagine is going to be an alternative cover, maybe from a VHS. I don't really know. Never seen this cover before, but this is the one that I've always been aware of. So you get some nice disc art there. And when I went to get this movie a long time ago, I remembered that on VHS, I think especially, you could get it, but it was cut. It was quite heavily cut. Now, I was kind of thinking that this movie would be a bit of a sort of maybe like an Alien, maybe like a Star Wars type movie. When I've looked at it, I've looked at some scenes in it, and it does look like it's more like an Alien rip-off, which I'm all right with. I don't mind rip-off movies. When I was flicking through, I did notice Robert Englund as well, Freddy Krueger. This movie was made in 1980, so this would be one of the first appearances of Robert Englund. Yeah, so this one here has got tons of extras in here, and I would imagine those are the ones that were ported over from the previous American disc, I would imagine. So it does say on the back it's a 4K scan of the original film elements. So the picture quality on here looks pretty impressive, I've got to say. But you've got to be aware that a lot of these shots on here, which have big ships in the background, will be kind of like a matte projection. So it does take the quality down a little bit, which is no problem with me. I do think that they've done a great job on here, and the fact that this thing is out in the UK now after all these years uncut, which is just music to my ears. I don't think you could class this as a video nasty, although it was one of those ones which was kind of lumped in with them by fans because it was a hard one to get and a hard one to get uncut as well. So everyone was like trying to find it out. And I've never seen it before, but I've heard loads of good things about it. But it is ultra low budget, and it's got a lot of quite well-known stars for the time in here. It's got Erin Moran, who was in Happy Days, the little kid in Happy Days. She's grown up a little bit in here. So yeah, so the film itself for me is an interesting watch because it's been one of those ones where I've wanted to watch for that length of time that it's like I've been dying to see it, to just see what it's all about. So yes, it says on the back here, it says Region B locked. I haven't tried that out yet actually, but the other ones say Region B locked, so I think it probably is. And another welcome addition to this great set that 88 are putting out. I would imagine that Mardi Gras Massacre, when it comes out, will look in this way as well. I hope it does, because these will look absolutely amazing on the shelves when they're all put together. So once again, I'd like to thank Gordon for stopping by. And it was just, actually, it's been funny because it's been a day since I met Gordon. And it was one of those ones where it was like a really a surprise, like a really great surprise to have that happen to you, to have someone actually say, "Are you such and such?" And I don't know, it's such a great feeling. It's such a strange feeling as well to be actually recognised by somebody out in just when you're walking about. It's something that you don't really think. You think, "Oh yes, that could happen," and then you kind of forget about it. And then when it does happen, you go, "Wow, that did happen." So I've got to say, Gordon, just really appreciate you taking the time out to just have a chat with me. And yeah, so hey, you never know, I might bump into each other again because Gordon's a local lad. So you never know, if I'm in HMV and I get a tap on my shoulder, it might be Gordon, but I might get a chance to have a bit more of a chat. I was a bit flabbergasted when you stopped us in CEX, so I didn't really have the chance to sort of to get out what I was going to say to you because I was kind of tongue-tied in a way. So thanks once again, Gordon. I do really appreciate that. Right, so thanks for watching. You take care, and I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.